Women are still earning nearly $30,000 less than men on average per year. That's according to this government report looking into the gender pay gap. Let me break that down for you. This report looked at nearly 8,000 employers and found that almost 3/4 of them had a pay gap that favours men, while just over a fifth have achieved pay equality, and 6.5% favour women. Let's be clear, this isn't men and women being paid differently for the same job. That's illegal. But it reflects things like men holding more senior or technical roles, like airlines employing mostly male pilots and mostly female stewards or administrative staff, or cultural expectations of caretaking that fall on women. Another factor is that many industries dominated by women, like education, childcare, administration, parts of healthcare, are paid less than male-dominated ones, like construction, mining, or finance. Let me show you how that plays out. These are the nearly 8,000 companies surveyed by the government. Over on this side are the companies whose pay gaps favour men. Here are the ones that favour women. And in here, we have about 20% in the middle that have no gap at all. When you start to sort things by industry, you get a clearer picture of what I mean. For example, these companies are in the healthcare and social assistance industry. You can see that a lot of the dots are around the middle. It's a lot more equal. But let's switch it to a more male-dominated industry, say mining. The pay gap grows. Mining is actually the best paid industry in the country, and its gender pay gap is increasing. In fact, the better paying the company, the more likely its pay gap is going to favour men. But there is some good news. The fact that the government is publishing the pay gaps at individual companies seems to be having an effect. 56% of companies improved their gender pay gap since the last reporting period. And there's even a bill currently before Parliament to address this.
This was all agreed and had been bipartisan, tripartisan, whole of Parliament supported until the last month, when Peter Dutton has reversed his position on that and said it's too burdensome on companies to support that reform. I imagine we can all understand why in this current environment, but I would urge him to reconsider that and put the interests of women and women at work number one before his own self-political interest.
And the government says it's hearing that more and more companies are figuring out what their problems are and how to fix them. There's a long way to go, and the pace of change has been slow. But the hope is that the transparency around the pay gap means that eventually the pay gap disappears altogether.